Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you had a good week in the market. It's Friday, February 3rd. We are going to look at some technical analysis, look at this SPY volatility, little week recap. I'm going to go over the option plays, futures plays we did, and what I plan for potentially next week. Sub up, like up, comment down. Happy Money sticks around. Follow us on Twitter at Happy Money YT, as well as our Discord server. Link for those are both in the description. And today was less volatile than yesterday. Jobs came out. It's really bearish. Jobs market still super strong. Crushed expectations, which is bad for inflation, bad for Powell's job of crushing the economy to bring down inflation. So data came out here at a big sell-off. Oh yeah, yesterday, remember my perfect entry on the short, and I didn't day trade it. I just wanted to hold, and I put a stop limit, and we got one wick that went up there with the Google and Amazon earnings, and it stopped me out and then proceeded to dump. So good lesson there. Big mega caps earnings coming out. Cancel my stop limits because that was a crazy move on the SPY in just like a minute or two. I think because they both reported at the exact same time, and they both pumped for a minute and then they all came down. So this was about $2,000 or so that I could have captured, but if I didn't have that stop and I just reopened it once the volatility settled down, it would have been like another $2,000 if I'd waited till here, but who's to say. I probably would have closed it about here though, which is before market opens. Anyways, yeah, kind of a bummer on that future. Pretty emotionally taxing, those kind of situations. So I had to break free from that today and start a new day. And right when market opens, cash open, SPY rips up, doesn't care. More bearish news came out. Manufacturing, some little drops from it, but bulls are in control for sure. And then I don't actually know if anything triggered this specifically, this sell-off, but I did enter. Let's see, I got into a future. I got a very poor timing on a future. I went short right here when it broke the VWAP, but I actually just held through it. And I had a stop in my head. If it broke this, I would close it out, which would have been a big range to close out, but I would have done it and maybe even gone long. But it didn't get there, stayed here, so I just held it and then ended up being very profitable. Came down here and actually closed it here. Typically I wouldn't just close once the momentum slows down, because on an option that matters, but on futures it doesn't. I don't need the volatility. Did close it here though, and then got excited and thought it was going to bounce because it's kind of at a support here. Went long, closed the long, lost it, went short. Just traded this chop when I shouldn't have. Should have been patient, and basically traded back all my gains and then some, quite a bit some. And then stopped trading this because it was choppy. And eventually I was down quite a bit, but then I actually went back long here on this engulfing candle and on this support. So closed it out up here. Got about 30 minutes left. It might keep rallying up higher, but it's looking pretty weak on there. So down in the futures today, not down as much as I was, and learning lessons. So hopefully I can remember and apply them. Taking notes every day that something comes to me. I do think probably next week we'll have a sell-off. Maybe not after Powell. We'll see what he says, but we've got kind of a bear flag forming here. Got a bearish MACD, red into the 9 moving average. This daily candle is an inverted hammer, which is bearish. Kind of, I mean, on certain time frames, there's probably kind of a head and shoulders here. I don't know, maybe that's a stretch. But this was the resistance that we were trying to catch on the short side, anyways, at 418. So probably at least a move back kind of to this 9 moving average where we've been bouncing on, which would put it about 408 or so. That happens Monday, maybe Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday maybe we'll start to have a recovery. GME, BBBY, Ryan Cohen bought into Nordstrom, so that's having a rally. Well, apparently that's what the media is saying. Haven't seen the SEC filing or anything on that yet, which is kind of strange. AIs continue to go on a tear. Here comes SPY. So I kind of want to enter a short on the future. I don't usually like to have them over the weekend, but I might if we get a big bounce. into close. I might go short on a future. Getty had to move up. There were a couple runners up and down today. APDN. I kind of chased some. I didn't FOMO in, but there were some I was looking to get in. These game ones from before I was looking to get in, and they started rallying today, and I jumped in. I was kind of looking for an entry, waiting for momentum, more or less. And we started to get it today, and then I jumped in, and then this one actually, MSGM. I jumped in, it consolidated, and then it just dropped and halted, and then opened down here. So very volatile. Don't know what's going on with this one. Low conviction this one. Another one that I kind of chased today, but I still like the chart, and I just am entering on chases. Was Helbiz. This one I wanted to get in. That's pretty awful. It broke through VWAP though. Ouch. It still looks pretty good on the hourly here. It's got a little inverted head and shoulders, shoulder head. MACD turned bullish. I was waiting for an entry on this one too. So this looks like it's probably at the 61% on the fib level, which I haven't drawn here, but yeah, I could see a move up with those. Maybe not till Tuesday next week. See if what the market's doing. BuzzFeed is another one I jumped in on, which I was kind of waiting for an entry. This one I did draw a little fib here, and it's right at that 61% also. So it was bouncy on it, and then it kind of came back down. So if it holds that would be good. Those are the ones I just got shares on today. Not good entries. I wasn't entering them on red days or anything like that. Just they pop up. I want to jump in them because I'll forget otherwise, and so might be holding for a little bit. GME, so strange. So it looks like it's finally starting to act more normal and not irrational in a sense, because this might be the start of it rather. It hasn't yet, but if it sells off on Monday, then okay. I think things are back in somewhat order. Another inverted hammer today, bearish candle. Another RSI divergence on the daily here from yesterday. Higher highs here on the candles, lower highs on the RSI, which is a sign of reversal. So I do see it coming down. I'm not sure if it'll stay in this range or if it'll break through, but we'll have to just see what happens once it gets into this range. If it breaks through that, we'll just keep looking at these supports. This one's 20.5, breaks there. The next one's at 19.14, which is a very long-standing support. If it breaks that, then I could probably see, oh shoot, 1885. I had a limit order. I accidentally just okay. I hate when I do that. Okay. 1885. Yeah, it breaks that. I mean, I see us dip back down to the teens and maybe lower. Honestly, we'll see. It's looking, I can't confirm yet, but it could be, look, it's still possible that it's in this pattern basically back here that we were saying it could be in. So unfortunate thing is we probably got another month before a new buying opportunity. The good thing would be is that it is still repeating patterns and we can still trace it. So don't know why it's stretched out more now, but there's a lot of reasons why this looks like the last bit we've been in here, from here down to here. This double top down to that low basically lines up with this double top to this low. So that would put us somewhere in this range. We've had a rally. It's slowing down. I think I don't know if we'll just consolidate like this before drop. I think we could. But yeah, if we do make a new low, I mean, you see where it's going to be. We don't necessarily make a new low, but at least retesting is 15. And then if it does repeat just like the other one, a new low would be like 10, maybe 10 to 12, somewhere in that range. 10 is definitely a solid number from before. 12 is a little softer, but yeah. So this week I flip-flopped quite a bit on my GME position, long, short, and well, more just long or not long. And yeah, it kept kind of faking me out, and all that slippage with as big of amounts as I was trading with sucked. So I lost a pretty good amount just doing that, unfortunately. But I'd rather be late than wrong, and yeah, we'll see in a couple weeks time or in a month time. And if it is, you know, back down here and I have all this capital and I can buy more, I'll be thankful. If it rips, I can always change my thesis, go back in, but at this point I don't think it is. It hasn't wanted to break that level, that 24 resistance that we had from support back here. Been a pretty strong resistance, and but yeah, it was setting up bull flags. I mean, everything was bullish momentum on it. We're finally getting some signals up atop though, or stronger ones. We had divergences back here, but this one is a stronger RSI divergence, and now 2 of these inverted hammer candles, as well as the support of the market probably coming down next week with its TA I showed you there. So yeah, that's what I see with that. BBBY, apparently they've paid bonds. That's rumor. Bonds have been paid. I haven't seen anything yet. That's just been, I think, from hearsay from people saying that's in their accounts or something, or they see it in accounts. So this thing's still volatile, but I actually do like the TA on it. If it holds this 29, kind of the support from back here, that is looking nice. It did sell off today, 8.7%, but I considered maybe doing some short puts on it. It's just more risky. If it is going bankrupt, you just get delisted overnight. So there is a factor there, and but TA wise, it does look pretty nice for if it holds the support to maybe just start making moves up. But yeah, that said, I mean, we don't have a whole lot yet. MACD is still bearish. The last 2 days, these candles breaking out of this little resistance here is a good sign, and then I think holding that up would be positive. Yeah, then Ryan Cohen's stake in JWN, not sure about it, but it did cause a big gap up today. Okay, futures, I'm down today 587, unfortunately. That sucks, but anyways, let's see the history. Yeah, quite a bit of trading. Did some nat gas, and then just ES stuff, and then on our options account, how to open, sold to close. What this is. Oh, I accidentally bought calls this morning. I was having a mess with my brokerage. Finally was able to sell calls. See, look, I was trying to short calls for 30 cents, and it was like freaking out. By the time I got them to short, or no, what is it? Sorry, 23 cents. By the time I got them to short, it was 20 cents, 19 cents. So did cover calls in GME today, and then actually got some more birds calls. Just doing this kind of arbitrage with the birds. I got more birds calls because, and then I closed out the cover calls coming into close for 1 penny. So they were just dailies. Got birds calls. I'm doing kind of a play. So some of my calls on here are getting filled. I'm moving out of the April 2.5 calls because now there's a July strike. So I paid 5 cents for these, which is the minimum it's ever been, and I was trying to get 10 cents for them, but now I'm just happy to get 5 cents for them, just what I paid, because I'm moving to the later strike. See there, yeah, you can see sometimes these went for 10 cents, even 15 cents. This contract, even 30 cents maybe. I don't know how many fills are up there though, but I'm moving those out, and I actually got filled on some of these buys. So I have buys for the 2.5 calls for July, which is more time, and I like that better. So the money I made back on these that I sold, I'm putting into the July calls, and then I've got orders to sell these for 10 cents. So I don't know, we'll see how that works. But it has worked pretty well so far. Oh, and then GME, well, I have an order to get more GME puts. Hasn't filled yet though, so we'll see if I get those. But basically 20 puts for February, the February monthly contracts. So I've got 10 of them. I'm looking to get 5 more, and might close them all on Monday, or hold them longer. I don't know. We'll see if we do get a bounce on one of these lines drawn here, or if we kind of keep coming down. Depends on Powell probably too. Yeah, so that's what I got. Hope you guys had a good week and have a good weekend. We'll we'll see you on Discord or Twitter Spaces maybe this weekend. Okay, peace out.